Athletes facing prison time in 2025. On January 14, 2023, 21-year-old Darius Miles, 20-year-old Brandon Miller, 19-year-old Jaden Bradley, and Miles's friend, 20-year-old Michael Lynn Davis, went to 1225, a Tuscaloosa, Alabama bar on the Strip. The Strip is a popular stretch of road near Alabama's Bryant-Denny football stadium that attracts people from all walks of life looking to get drinks and have fun. Miles, Miller, and Bradley were teammates on the Alabama Crimson Tide basketball team, and they had won a game against the LSU Tigers by 40 points earlier in the day. However, Miles didn't play and was ruled out for the season due to a bad ankle. Miller felt the line was too long, so he went elsewhere, leaving Miles, Bradley, and Davis waiting in 30-degree weather. At the same time the basketball players were in line, 23-year-old mother of one, Jamia Jonah Harris. Her cousin Asia Humphrey and Harris's boyfriend Cedric Johnson were also waiting in line at the same bar. Harris and her boyfriend had come to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, to visit Humphrey and other friends in the area. It was a busy Saturday night, and it is not believed that the two groups interacted outside or inside the bar. Davis and her cousin and boyfriend left the bar first, but they remained in the area as they ordered food and were waiting across the street. Davis, Miles, and Bradley left the bar around 1:36 a.m. and crossed the street. Suddenly, Davis decided to do a little dance. Harris's mother later said Davis danced to get her daughter's attention. Eventually, Johnson got annoyed at Davis trying to get his girlfriend's attention, so he told Davis to move along. Davis replied, "Well, you don't know who I am. You don't know what I do to you." Johnson replied, "Brother, why don't you be good?" Davis stated, "I don't want your girl." Miles intervened and pulled Davis away from the situation. At the same time, Miles claimed to see people in Harris's car pass a gun from the front seat to the back seat. They would later say they were passing food. Miles owned a gun but did not have it on him at the time. He left it in the back seat of his teammate Brandon Miller's car and texted Miller at 1:38 a.m. to bring him his firearm because some guys were faking. Miller was already on his way to meet the men, and it's unclear if he read the text. Miller pulled up outside the bar at 1:43 a.m. A minute later, Harris's car pulled up with its lights off and parked behind Miller and Bradley's cars. Miles reached into Miller's back seat and grabbed his gun, which he passed to Davis. Miles then pushed his girlfriend and his girlfriend's friend into an alley so they would be safe from gunfire. At 1:45 a.m., 9 minutes after their conflict first began, it's alleged that Davis started shooting, and Johnson fired back in self-defense. During the shootout, 2 shots hit Miller's windshield, but Miller and his unnamed passenger were not harmed and quickly fled the scene. Bradley also fled the scene when he heard the first gunshots. Davis was hit in the shoulder and Harris was shot in the face. Johnson pulled away from the scene and flagged down a police car near the football stadium. Harris was pronounced dead. She was allegedly killed by one of Davis's bullets as she sat in the passenger seat of her car. Right after the shooting, Miles and his girlfriend hopped in her car, picked up Davis from an intersection, and went back to Miles's apartment. Miles contacted 911 about Davis's gunshot. When authorities arrived, Miles claimed that Davis just showed up with a gunshot. Police put pressure on him, and he later said he and his girlfriend picked up Davis after the shooting, but they didn't see the shooting. A day after the crime, authorities arrested Miles and Davis and charged them both with capital murder. Alabama quickly dismissed Miles from the team. As more details were released, people called for Alabama's star player, Miller, to be dismissed from the basketball team. Many also wanted him to be arrested and charged with a crime for taking the gun to the scene of the shooting, but authorities said there was nothing they could charge him with. Miller's lawyer claimed he was already heading toward the Strip, and his arrival, moments after the disagreement between Davis and Johnson began, was a coincidence. After the 2022-2023 college basketball season, Miller went to the NBA while Bradley transferred to University of Arizona. Miles and Davis remain behind bars awaiting trial.